Welcome to On the Set. I'm Jaime Brooke. On the Set takes you behind the scenes of some of Wilmington's current film and video projects. We talk to the people involved and show you what it takes to make it happen, right here on the set. Technology has sped up our lives in the last several years. We used to wait on the evening news and newspapers to find out what has happened during the day. Now we have the internet and 24-hour news programming. In short, we live in a society of instant information. Today, we want to take you on a journey through the lives of some of our local news gatherers. We spent a day with the wonderful professionals of Wilmington's own WECT, News Channel 6.
You know, the majority of the time you just keep on trucking because a lot of times, most of the times you're under a deadline, so it's in and out.
We might have a plane crash. What we know we have is a plume of smoke in the woods that's hard to find.
Of a plane crash in rural Brunswick County, although there are...
Our end of the business is getting to be much more entertainment and very promotionally oriented.
All right, see you, Dave.
He's letting us handle all this? Cool!
So how do the stories get to the newsroom? It all begins with a phone call. You might not think it, but this is a very important part of the news broadcast. This is where it all begins.
Well, we have a woman who called, a citizen said she saw the plane go down. We've got the smoke in sight. But John Rossborough hasn't heard anything about it, and he's checking into it to tell us what what he knows.
He's not ready?
He won't be ready. We won't have him up in the air for a half hour, if then. He's unloading a truck. I think he'll probably drop that. He needs gas. He's got to do that. And we've got an issue with how much...
made it sound like he was standing by just ready to go.
Well...
Basically, we heard on the scanner that a plane had gone down. Somebody saw a plane go down, saw smoke, so we got our crews rolling. We make a ton of phone calls. We called, Sheriff of Pender County and Brunswick County and just anyone that might be involved. They don't know what's going on. We have our crew that's trying to find the scene, and it's off in the woods and they can't get to it, so it's a lot of questions.
Okay, thank you, Beth. You're a good woman. Bye. Beth is saying there's no airplane. Beth is Sheriff Hewitt's woman. There is no airplane. There is a controlled burn.
And finally, once you put out enough calls, somebody calls you back and they know who they're supposed to talk to, and they've contacted somebody who does know. And so now we found out that it's a controlled burn that everyone knew about, that's perfectly safe. There was a crop duster that was flying in the general area and went down for a normal landing, and someone happened to see the landing and the controlled burn and put those two together and thought that it was a plane crash. And it's not.
From photographers to character generators, certain positions have to be delegated to complete the project. Each of these positions carries its own load of responsibility while they work together as a team.
Okay, all right. Thank you. We'll be on it. Right now I just got a call from somebody about a story idea that we may need to work on today. They also took the paper off about it, so if we don't get on it now, it'll be too late.
Being aware of the stories of the day and making sure that they're covered logistically speaking, we've got to make sure that we have the right people to be at the right place at the right time, and that's an assignment function.
So you show up, find out what the big stories of the day are, hook up with a reporter, drive around, take some pictures, talk to some people, go where stuff's happening, hopefully. Come back and, edit it on a deadline. And it's fun.
We're aware of stories that are going to be happening a month from today. What's going to be going on tonight and tomorrow, and so on.
And this has happened many times. You spend all day at one scene, one situation. You shoot the heck out of it. You get some really good pictures. But if it comes down to crunch time and your reporter is, dragging their feet or whatever, and it takes them a long time to write the story, you might only have 10 minutes to cut that. And so you've shot all this great stuff, but if you don't have time to edit it, then it never gets seen. So,
Well, there are two different kinds of vans. There are the microwave, which is what we have, and the other kind is a satellite truck itself. They are able to move quickly and bring live pictures from almost anywhere if all the equipment is working. We have mechanical equipment in a truck that allows us to send a signal from the location to a tower. We have two towers. We have one right next to the building here. We have our main tower, which is out by White Lake, which is probably 60 miles from here. And we can shoot our picture or our signal from the live trucks to either one of those towers, depending on where the truck is. From there, the signal comes in through master control. From master control, it comes back into here and back into the satellite center. That's what we call the BAT truck, big ass truck. What it is a moving studio. What we can do with that truck is go to an event like the Azalea Festival Parade, and that is actually a moving studio. What you saw in the control room up there with a director and an audio and a producer can all be done within that truck. We can put as many as 7 people inside that truck.
In the meantime, you got a regular newscast to put on. Trying to put all that together.
After the filming is completed, the news crew heads back to the studio where the footage is reviewed and brought together with facts to create a story. Let's take a look at what it's really like to be on the set.
We have gone pretty much some fairly primitive stuff involving black and white 16 millimeter film to something that is spectacularly more easy. Okay, you're seeing now what the camera usually sees, and in just a second you'll see the camera as well as it looks in on our familiar and comfortable scene here on the news set.
The mother of a murder victim wants Wilmington women to take back the night. We'll tell you how at 11.
This is what you're used to seeing on TV, the big blue background back here and the various colors of the molding that surround it, with 3 cameras, monitors, teleprompters, lights everywhere, and this is our workplace. This is where we do what we do.
A 3-car collision in front of New Hanover High School looks routine until police find heroin. Plus, only a few hours now before Martha Stewart reports to federal prison in West Virginia, and the TV crews are waiting for her.
As you see the pictures there on the front of the cameras, that's where the teleprompter is played back right now. It's on what we call air signal. It would be on script if it were during a newscast, and for the most part, all of what we say is actually on the prompter. It's also on a hard copy on the desk in case the prompter goes down, which it has done. Behind the cameras there, you see an interview set, which is supposed to look really like a typical living room or den setting, and that's where they interview various people about things. And they have dogs and cats on there on Fridays all over the couches for the Pet of the Week segment. And just to the left of that, there is half of a kitchen. You might not be able to see much of it. It's kind of in the dark over there, but it's on wheels, and it slides over or rolls over there in front of the kitchen set. Switches and cables and things of that nature back here behind this blue screen that we really just can't get to at the moment. But all of this is crammed in here, and it's a good sized area, but for a studio, it's not really all that big.
When the winds are blowing, the weathermen come a-running. It's their job to keep us informed about the constantly changing weather conditions of the world around us.
By the time I come in, my day is really consists of the science of meteorology, analyzing the atmosphere from the ground to 60,000, 70,000 feet up all over North America, the analysis of the atmosphere, the science part, the putting together of the forecast, what that analysis is, and what is the atmosphere is liable to look like in the future, and what that means to our weather right here at the surface. And then the graphics part for the TV business part of the job. So I combine the science, which I love, meteorology, with the broadcast. So it's my forecast, my product that I get to present. I point at a green wall. That's it. I talk about the weather pointing at a green wall. Well, actually what's happening is the camera looks at me, okay? The camera sees me, and electronically, let's say, the camera has been trained not to see the green. So they're shooting me with the camera and filling in the background with my weather maps electronically.
That's really all a green screen is that we have the actual number of that particular green that makes things disappear, so that you can superimpose an image such as a steel store or George's weather computers behind him, so it looks like he's actually there when indeed we superimpose something in the absence of any color.
So for me to see what I'm pointing at, I'm watching a monitor in the TV screen and a monitor on one side of me and a monitor on the other side. So I'm actually watching myself do TV at the same time you would be watching it. Buttons galore. I've got a button. I program what I'm going to show in my show. There's several different sources that we show. One source is radar.
Really, we have two systems. We have what's called the triple Doppler. Well, this is our own radar. It's located outside of town. I guess we put it somewhere in right around the Brunswick County. You can probably see the spin right around the Brunswick County. I think it's around Leland, if I'm not mistaken. It plots National Weather Service radar stuff. But the nice thing about this system is you can go down to street level, which is very nice.
Master Control has to pick that source if I call for radar. If I call for our Sky One neighborhood network, they have to pick that source when I call for it. But once I get to the graphic body, the weather maps, the forecast, radar, satellites, that's all within the computer that I programmed for that particular show.
So right here called our WSI. It's got all kinds of data on here, satellite data, radar data, all kinds of things, plus the internet. And I use that to get the maps I need and the information I need to make my forecast.
And every time I click the buttons, it changes the page. It's a garage door opener. Click, page change. Click, page change. Click, everyone garage goes up. So I turned my hobby into my career, so knock on wood, it's worked out real well that way. Just a fascination with weather that I've carried on all these years.
Now that everything is filmed and ready to go live, it's time to broadcast and cut the show together. Here, they bring in the filmed footage and interlay it with live shots from the studio. We're live in 5, 4, 3, 2, and...
Me up here operating this, everything all at once, and telling everybody else at the same time how to perform their jobs, how to bring the audio in at certain times and at certain levels, and how to get the camera shots, and watching all these monitors to make sure that the proper shots look right and are actually moving and doing something interesting at all times.
One of the state's largest employers announces thousands of layoffs. Details below.
Standby 14. 14 meaning a VTR. VTR meaning a tape machine that I'm getting ready to call. So I'm going to go standby 14, ready 14. I'm now cueing the audio person to get ready for to take 14. Roll or 14 rolls. 14 is now rolling. 14 should be put up back there. That's the opening of our show. I got camera guys now that are needing to get ready to cue their cameras. Standby 3 2 shot. 3 2 shot is a 2 shot on camera 3. Being able to clarify with in a concise manner and deliver messages to people at the same time operating all the equipment.
You can have this best case scenario and you have your rundown set up the way you want to do it, but like we've seen, it doesn't always work out that way, so you just kind of roll with the punches.
So we write everything, we edit everything. It's a creative process, it really is.
It's a tough job, and the pay is not great, and all that, but it's worth it.
There's some stories that are not very visual, such as, school board meetings. Meetings are boring. You sit in a meeting, you're bored to death. And for people that work in an office all day and they have meetings all day, they come home, they turn on the TV, they don't want to sit there and watch a meeting. They're going to get bored to death and change channel or fall asleep.
It's live TV. Things are going to go wrong sometimes. You're going to say something you maybe shouldn't have, or you're going to flub, or it goes with the territory. It's live TV.
Job well done, crew. As you can see, live broadcasting takes a lot of work, timing, and commitment. Everything can so easily go right, but in a split second, everything can fall apart. This is what makes the news broadcasting world so exciting. My name's Jaime Brooke, and this has been On the Set.